So let's get into our Latin and Greek prefixes lesson for today. So we all know what a prefix is. We know what a Latin and a Greek root word is. So now we're kind of meshing the two things together. Okay. So Latin and Greek prefixes. A prefix is a word part added to the front of a word to change its meaning. For example, let's say I want to use the word heat, right? If I want to put in a prefix, I'm going to say preheat. That means that I need to heat something before, right? So it kind of works the same way. However, some prefixes come from Latin, such as non, right, which means not, and pre, which means before. Other prefixes come from Greek, such as hyper, which means excessively. So, for example, when you guys have heard, right, that you've had too much candy, or you've heard your teachers or your parents tell you, oh my goodness, why are you guys so hyper today, right? And it's because probably you're going a little bit crazy. So it means you are excessive in the way you're behaving. That means you're a little bit too excited, right, than usual. So hyper would mean to be too much of something. Okay, and then we've all heard this one before, and this one can count also as a root word, bio, which means life, as in the word biology, right? So let's go ahead and get an example. So in the great energy debate, I see the word biofuels on page 412. Bio is a Greek prefix that means life. So biofuels are something that come from living things. So for example, a fossil fuel, it could be something that comes from plants or animals. That just means it comes from something that was once alive. Okay, it means life. All right, so then we have these three little examples here. So we have the word pre-plan. Let's go ahead and break it up. If I remove the prefix, or if I separate the prefix from the root word, I have the prefix pre, which means before, and then I have the root word plan. So it would mean that I would need to plan before. So let's say you guys are going on a trip to Disney, right? Hopefully once Disney opens pretty soon, right? You guys pre-plan your trip. That means that you plan your trip before you actually go, right? You guys don't just show up at a hotel and then go ahead and start, hey, can I go ahead and get a room? No, you have to pre-plan it, right? So you need to plan it before you actually get there. Our next word would be non-renewable. So if I go ahead and separate that word, let me separate that prefix, right? Like here where it says non, it means not. I have non and I have renewable. So that means that this is something that is not renewable. I can't use it again. Something that is not going to renew itself. Something that cannot be used again. Okay, so that would be renewable. And then I have the word hypercritical. So if I separate it and I have this prefix right here, hyper, right, which means excessive or too much of something, means too much criticism or too critical. So when somebody is hypercritical, that means that all they're doing is criticizing. All they're telling you is either bad things, or all they're telling you is like what they think you should do better or how you can fix something. So it could go both ways. It could be something negative or it could be something positive. So I can say, oh, you're being totally hypercritical, right? It means you're criticizing something too much. Now, it could be that you're criticizing it in a good way. You're giving constructive criticism that's to help somebody, or you're just, saying you're being a negative Nancy and you're saying, oh no, this is terrible. You need to do it better this way, or you need to do it that way. And that would be critical. But hypercritical means too critical, too much of it. Okay, so when you guys are rereading, make sure that you're looking out for those Latin and Greek prefixes. A lot of them we already know. We just didn't know that they were Latin or Greek, right? For example, non, we should know, that means not, pretty similar. Pre, that one we should be super familiar with. And we should know the word bio. That even serves as a Greek root. The only one that I think we have introduced that you've probably haven't heard too much before is the Greek prefix hyper. But you have heard the word hyper before, and it is exactly what it means. It means too much. So if somebody says that you are hyper, it means that you are a little bit too excited. Okay, so just keep on the lookout for those Latin and Greek prefixes. And yeah, that's it. Have a great day. Bye, guys.